Hey, it's John with Vision Advisors, and thanks for joining us as we've got an opportunity to share something unique. And when I run across a neat idea, something that can be helpful to you in the financial services industry to help you do what you do better, one of the things we like to say here at Vision is that we are a marketing focused organization that also has great product. After all, you can be the best salesman in the world, but if you can't get in front of a qualified prospect and have the opportunity to present to them what you do, all the great product in the world don't do you a whole lot of good. So one of the things that we're finding that many producers are still struggling with today is, how do I stay in contact with my clients? I'm amazed at the number of financial professionals I talk to that still are not using some type of contact management system to be able to track what's going on with their clients, to know the policies that they have in place, to know the different carriers that they are doing business with, and to manage those relationships. Well, we've come across a very interesting value proposition we want to share with you today from Vision Financial Marketing. You know, if you're looking for a CRM, this has got some really neat features because it was built by people that understand our industry for financial professionals working in our industry. Secondly, they've got a free version of this. So, hey, anybody that is looking for a way to save money, some of the basics of this program you can start with for free. Now, they've got some great add-ons, and you're going to have an opportunity to hear about some of the enhancements of using their paid service, but they do have a free service that's available. And this includes some very unique marketing opportunities built into this CRM that are pretty exciting. Joining us on the call today is Gabriel Lewitt from Vision Financial Marketing. Gabriel, I am so excited to have you on today, and I'm looking forward to having you share with the financial professionals that are going to be watching this on-demand video and learning what you guys have built. So thank you for doing that for us today.
John, my pleasure, and excited to be here and telling you and all the advisors there, agents of Vision Advisors, you know, some of the different tools and software capabilities that we've got available for you to take advantage of. And so, yeah, just a little bit, just to kind of kick things off, you mentioned it, but I'll just recap as well. You know, Vision Financial Marketing is a software platform, first and foremost, designed just for financial professionals. And really, we built this, I think it started 4 or 5 years ago. We were using some of the other CRMs that were out there in our own practice, and we understood, you know, we have all this data in here, but it wasn't letting us, you know, market to our clients. It wasn't doing anything to help us make more sales. And we kind of were frustrated with it, and crazy enough, we said, why don't we just build our own? And that's kind of where the idea came from. And so what we wanted to build with, we call it VFM for short, so if you hear me say VFM, that's what I'm referencing. We wanted to build a CRM that really helps you drive in and focus on making new sales with your existing clients, wallet share, with converting potential clients or prospects into your business. And you're going to see a lot of different features here that can help you do that. Now, I think most importantly, what's going to help you do that, and we'll talk a little bit about the concept of a sales and marketing funnel here in a second, but you've got to get in front of new people and as well as convert and nurture current people that are in your database, which is what a CRM is. It's your database of all your contacts and clients. And so we've built in a lot of features that help you do that. And in fact, as we continue to develop more and more new features for our platform, most, if not all of them, are going to be advancing our marketing capabilities and client communication capabilities. So really, I think if today is for you, you want to find a way to increase your sales, more efficiency, less time, and truly less headache. So I think one of the things we wanted to build, when we used to talk to advisors that have used other CRMs, they said, you know, XYZ is really clunky, I can't do this or this very easy, this takes a lot of time or it's hard to use. So we wanted to make things really simple and easy. And I think that helps, you know, if you're out there wondering about CRMs, it'll help you use it quicker, more easily, and make life just a lot less of a headache, which is very, very valuable with time being so scarce these days. And so it's really designed for no matter what your practice is, you guys are out there, you're focused on annuities, life insurance, maybe some other aspects of the insurance business. It's really designed for you. And we built in content, for example, that's just for you. We've got features in the CRM that's just for you. So I do know advisors that are out there using, I don't know, Pipedrive or Zoho or things that aren't designed just for advisors. And it doesn't really work very well because there are key things missing, or you have to spend a crazy amount of time or energy or money to customize those to do what really you want something out of the box to do just for you, which I think is very, very important. And so where we can help is if you've got a CRM, it's not helping you make sales, maybe it's clunky or old, or more importantly, if you're not using a CRM today, and you'll hear me kind of beat the drum here on this a lot as we go through this, but if you're not using a CRM today, you're using Outlook or Excel or Gmail, I'm going to try to help convince you, if I can, why that's so important to be able to have that in place, and we'll cover that here in just a moment. I think this is the most important part. Most of you out there, unless you're brand new to the business, you've got people in your database. Now, maybe it's not inside of a CRM yet, but you still got files and files and files of people that you didn't convert previously, or people that you spoke with a year ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago even, or 10 years ago, depending how long you've been in this business. You are sitting on a mountain of leads and prospects in your database, and you need to make sure you're focusing on converting those people back into new clients and new sales to help you build and grow your business. And that's, I think, more important today than ever, given the challenging environment that we're in with all of this COVID stuff that's kind of come out of the blue. And those are really just, guys, those are wasted opportunities. It's easy money that you're sitting on, and my goal here is to help you find a way to help convert those in a very cost-efficient manner. Okay, so a couple things, just what we're not, because we do get a couple questions about this. We're not financial planning software. We're not a lead gen service. So if you're looking for brand new leads, people you've never ever talked to before, not in your database, we don't do a lot of that. There's lots of services, and I'm sure John has got ideas as well to help you acquire brand new leads from out of the blue there. But we've also got questions, are you a seminar mailing house? We're not a seminar mailing house. And I think most importantly, we're not a magic bullet solution. There's a little bit of energy required from your end to get things set up. But once you do, you'll see we can help you put a lot of your ongoing marketing and communication on autopilot, and then it becomes a very, very valuable element of your overall marketing solution. So let's focus on that first item, which is, I mentioned, a very sales-focused CRM, and let's cover what that is in a little bit more detail. And as I mentioned, I like this little picture on the right, a little Rolodex or a file cabinet. If that's what you're using today, you're just going through your stack of folders each and every morning. That's one way of doing business. You can do business that way. It's just not going to be very efficient. And again, efficiency is huge, and it's not going to help you really drill down into your database and find new sales and new opportunities. And so that's why we've built everything to help you do that, to help you make more sales. And this is kind of my biggest point here. It might seem kind of mundane or not very exciting, where you're thinking you got to go out there and market and find all sorts of new things, magic bullets out there. But just using your CRM the right way is often the easiest way to help increase your sales. And I've seen it hundreds of times, and it really is true. And I want to help show you some of those ways here today, because I think it'll be helpful and valuable for your practice. And so first thing, this one's probably the simplest, okay? So we'll just spend 2 seconds here. We've got a calendar inside of our software here. But I think the key in using our calendar, okay, versus Outlook or Gmail, is once you have all your clients in your database, you want to be able to connect any appointments that you schedule in your calendar to that contact, so you can see it in their history. So at any point in time, if you pull up a contact, you can see the last 6, 7, 8, however many times you met with them, talked with them, and you do that all through just linking somebody when you create your calendar activity. And generally inside of an Outlook or Gmail or any other non-CRM system, you can't do that. That's one of the biggest things that you're going to be missing. So it's got all the typical calendar features, so we won't spend too much time there. The next section is all about your teams and client tasks. Now this is also kind of basic. We'll get to the more exciting stuff here, but this is so important, folks, because if you do a good job for your clients, if you do things on time, if you make sure you stay sharp with all of those deadlines, people respect that. They understand that. There are other advisors out there, they're current advisors, that take 3, 4, 5 days to get back to them. So if you can put things in your task system and make sure you stay on point, that can actually help you drive in more sales. So we've got lots of other training too as you start using the system, that if you want to learn more about these key features, we're here to help you adopt all these key things. So today's not a training as much as it is a 30,000-foot view. But we've got a very robust task system. Also, just to show you what a contact profile looks like, here's just a sample from a sample database, not a real client, but you'll be able to go back into a client profile, and do something we call client recall. So all of our brains aren't perfect. You forget things. If you're seeing lots of new clients and people each and every day, it can be hard to remember key details. So just being able to, before you call somebody, before they come in for a meeting, before you do that next Zoom webinar, being able to review all their profile details, remember the names of their kids or their uncle or whoever, that's going to be very important. And this is going to also help you track by tags. For example, you can see over here different tags in the blue and purple. You can actually start to organize all of your contacts into groups. So if you've got a group of golfers, if you've got a group of people that like wine, this is going to allow you to do some event-based marketing, which is a topic for a whole nother conversation. But those are very, very powerful capabilities to be able to get to know your client a little bit better. Okay. Now, John, you mentioned this. I think this is very, very important. Now, being able to pull up your book of business all in one spot. So here, for example, and granted, if you've been in business a really long time and you don't have anything inside of a CRM, this will take a little bit of time to get your data in here. We recommend hiring a data admin person for fairly low cost and just have them come into your office for 2 weeks. That's what we did a long time ago when we went digital, and just plug in all of your account information. And now once you've got it all in here, you can pull up all the carriers that you have business with, all the products inside of specific carrier, all these different things, reviews that are coming up, and this is going to help you identify policies that are coming due for existing wallet share. You've got all sorts of options here once you know all your business is here electronically to be able to review and access and manage. So very, very important, and just is kind of a prerequisite for today's modern day advisor, having all your information online in one spot. One other thing you can do here, this is called an opportunity, and just best practice is as you talk with clients, as you review annual reviews, you'll find, so-and-so's got a CD coming due in 6 months, their parent might pass away in the near future and you'll inherit some money. All of these things are what we call sales opportunities. Having a place to enter those in and track them for the future is very, very important, because otherwise they get buried. And I've seen it before. These easy cherry-pick sales just get buried inside of someone's folders or notes history. If it's in paper, what you want to do is pluck those off of paper, put them in here, and then you can review this list each and every week, and you will find those easy sales that are just coming due to you as long as you're there to take action on them. And I think last but not least, with regards to a sales-based CRM, knowing exactly where all your current pipeline is in one spot. So this that you'll see on the screen is what we call our sales pipeline. It allows you at any point in time to see who's where, how many first appointments, second appointments, third appointments, fourth appointments, whether or not they're scheduled, need to be rescheduled, all of this stuff, because a lot of times if you just focus on a calendar, this is different than a calendar, it works side by side with one. It'll make sure that you didn't all of a sudden meet with someone a week ago or 2 weeks ago, you were supposed to call them for an appointment, but you forgot. And now you're focused on the calendar going forward, you completely forget about that person. So this is designed to help ensure you never lose a sale through the cracks ever again. Okay, so when we combine all these things, tracking opportunities, knowing your client, tracking all your sales, this is what separates, something that just tracks your contact data from a true sales CRM, and more importantly, making these things that are a regular part of your day or weekly business practices is really where the most important part is taking the time to review this data once you've got it in your CRM. Finally, and this is going to segue us into our marketing section here, just having all your contacts in the CRM, and what we do is a little bit different than some of the other systems. We, by default, encourage you to organize into 4 segments: clients, prospects, leads, and then just kind of everybody else, or your dentist, for example, would fall into general. But this is important because as you communicate, as you do ongoing nurturing and marketing, you're going to have different messages for these different lists. What you send to a client is going to be different than what you want to send to a prospect. And we define a prospect as somebody that you've met with in the past but has yet to become a client. And that message is going to be, yet again, different than what you talk to a lead. And a lead might be somebody you've never spoken to before, but you're trying to get them into the mix, into an appointment. And so those different communication approaches will be different, and you've got to have your contacts segmented to be able to communicate to those different segments, okay, in the appropriate way. And so let's talk about some of the ways that you can do some marketing to these folks, because that's what it is all about. Having your data in a CRM, but then more importantly, being able to market to and nurture those lists, because that's going to also drive in new appointments, which of course lead to new clients down the road. So one of the key things, and we'll have to just focus on one for today, which is direct mail postcards, but we have some email capabilities as well. In fact, one of the most powerful forms of email that you can do is just what they call a plain text email. And that's where you just, you send somebody an email. It looks as if you just wrote it from your Outlook or your Gmail account, but you're really actually doing it across all of your clients or all of your prospects all at the same time with something called a merge tag. So it's personalized and customized. Those are very, very powerful. We have a lot of those features built into our system as well. But what I really like to focus on is direct mail postcards as a core element of your nurturing and communication campaign. And so I want to to preface this, I want to just focus on a few basics. And some of this might be preliminary, but I think it'll help position where postcards and just in general nurturing fits in. But if you recall, there's a concept called a sales and marketing funnel. And at the very top, it all starts by generating new leads. And whether it's talking to someone in the Starbucks line or buying leads online or generating new leads through Facebook, right? However you're acquiring those new leads, they go into your CRM. And then by default, they can go into your marketing funnel. And the very first thing is, again, leads. Everybody, no matter where they're at, goes in here. Then we have interested leads, people that have raised their hand, for example, through your website. They have said, we'd like to contact you, or we'd like to talk with you, or they've requested an ebook. Those are examples of interested leads, perhaps that you've then qualified. Then we get down into people that have scheduled appointments or that are very engaged. And then, of course, at the very bottom, we've got in-process sales. And that's where we're all trying to get to, is that bottom of the funnel, those sales, and then they convert into clients. But to do that, we got to do ongoing lead and prospecting nurturing. And I like to use some extreme, just comparison examples. If you just did nothing, right, you have all these people in your database and you just did absolutely nothing, what are the chances of them just calling you up out of the blue and saying, hey, we'd like to schedule an appointment with you now, right? It doesn't happen. You've got to nurture people along. You give them little pushes. You got to feed them information, reasons for them to give you a call, to stay in touch. And that's where this ongoing lead and prospect nurturing is so, so valuable, and where I say you've got so much value in your lead and contact database that you're already sitting on, not even counting the new leads and different methods of marketing that you can use to get people in. So that's where it fits in. And if we can all agree, because I've been there, it's really easy. We're busy. You've got meetings, you've got planning work, you've got all these different things you got to do. You got to do your budgets for the month. It can get easy to not get around to marketing to your current list. We just get busy and, I'll do that on Monday instead of Friday. And then Monday, it's the beginning of the week, and I'll do that Wednesday. And before you realize it, you've pushed back a month and you've done nothing. And of course, that's bad for business. And so that's what we're trying to solve by making things very simple and very easy. Because again, this is money down the drain. It's just easy money if we do these things the right way and do them consistently. And so that's our goal, try to make nurturing easy. So what do I mean by that? If, for example, if you think about the calendar year here, and there's no right time or wrong time to get started, you should get started tomorrow. Okay, sometimes people say, well, I'll wait till quarter four or the end of the year or something. No, there's no good or bad time to start. You want to get started right away. But the idea here is, of course, I'm focusing on direct mail postcards here, but you want to send out something each and every month at a minimum. And definitely something that's focused on a financial message that you are trying to convey for your practice. So if you focus on annuities, then it's an annuities message. If it's focused on lifetime income planning, then that's the message. If it's focused on tax-free income, then that's your message, right? Whatever it is you're trying to convert people into, you want to make sure that that is a consistent theme that's being put in front of your clients and your potential prospects each and every month. Now, we take that one step further. That's one part. We also would recommend that you layer on top of there some personal touches, just things that show that you care, because that to many people is more important than what you can do for them on the money side. Okay, and so we recommend at least 4 times a year some sort of personal touch. It could be a holiday, 4th of July, Labor Day, it could be just happy summer. We just had a really popular card we just sent out. It was a really cute picture of a whale. It said, "Whale, hello there," right? And we just had a nice little message on the end wishing people well during this COVID pandemic. We got a ton of email responses from clients and prospects saying, "Thanks for thinking of us." And that's what it's really all about, just constant engagement and communication and nurturing. And you can take that a step further. We won't have time to dive into that here, but there's boosters and other things you can do to try to increase those responses. But here's the idea, right? In April, for example, prospect calls you for an appointment. July, someone calls you for an appointment. December, somebody calls you for an appointment, right? You're staying in touch with people, so at the time when they're thinking of you, they pick up that phone or they go to your website and they fill out a form and they call you and contact you. Okay, and what we do to make this easy is we've got all this content ready for you. Okay, you don't have to worry about thinking of something new this week to send out. We've got it all ready to go. You just got to, click the button and do it. And it takes about 2 minutes in our online platform. And especially if you're using our CRM with all your contacts in there already, it's as simple as picking the done postcard, picking your list, and clicking the send button, and those postcards get mailed automatically for you. So really, basically, it's just mining for gold from your current database, and there's a lot of it in there. And you just got to make sure you're taking action to do it. And we want to make that simple for you by giving you all the content and the tools and the delivery platform. So we're trying to make it so there's really no good reason not to get started with doing this. And you can do it at any sort of budget level. And I'll talk about that here in just a second. So one last thing here, why postcards? We believe in them. They work. That's number one reason. But number two, if I was going to just talk to you about a few other reasons, I like them because you could send out an expensive newsletter, $3, $4, or for example, if it's a good one. If it's not a good newsletter, it's not going to work for you, period. But a good newsletter could be $3, $4. Those are expensive. You can only market to maybe 100 people for a $400 a month budget, where you can market to 400 postcard clients, right? So you can reach more people at a lower price point, and I think that's really, really valuable as you're looking to market and grow your practice. So one thing I want to just emphasize here is what we call return on investment, and I just wanted to spend a minute to talk about how that machine works. So imagine a slot machine, you put in 10,000, every time you pull the lever, you get out 40. That would be a machine we would all want to do consistently over and over and over. And that would give you a 4 times ROI. And so let's just, a couple of very quick case studies here. And these were real advisors that have used our postcard marketing. Okay, they had all their clients in their database. They were looking for a way to keep in touch with them. And again, remember guys, this isn't a magic bullet, right? It's not like you send out a postcard and you get 10 appointments tomorrow. This is an ongoing part of your marketing mix. Okay, it's a nurturing, perpetual nurturing campaign. But he mailed to 277 prospects, 2 postcards a month. He actually did a little bit more frequency, spent about $3,850 over that period, $550 a month. He made, and these aren't, huge numbers, okay, but he's only got 277 prospects in his database that he was marketing to. He made 3 appointments, closed 2 sales, 350 and 100, total premium 450,000, 6.5%. He made $29,250 for a 759% ROI. Okay, and more importantly, he didn't have to really do any work to do this. He had the data in his CRM. He sent out a postcard once or twice a month on autopilot, and he got people to call him 6, 7 months down the road. Okay, that's just one example. Now, you might get someone to call you sooner. We had another advisor that after 4 months had 2 appointments, so same thing here. 2 appointments, closed both of those. This was a bigger sale, and he called us so excited. I got an appointment already, made a sale already. And it's great because it can take a month, 2 months, it can be 5 months, it can be 7 months, you just don't know, and I'll explain why in a second. But he made $48,750, okay, and at that point in time, it spent only $2,200. He just paid for this direct mail program for the next decade if he wanted to, and then some, okay? And so that's the idea, perpetual, ongoing, part of your nurturing campaign, because again, if you don't communicate with somebody, they're not gonna magically call you. And if you just do something like email, too many people don't read emails, and there's email fatigue. Direct mail gets read. 98% of people check their mailbox every day. So it really ought to be a part of your overall marketing mix, okay? It's not a replacement for email. We love email. We're a huge believer in email marketing. It's just a supplement because different people react to different things. And this all because of this last thing here, the power of timing. And if you think of making sales more of a marathon, not a sprint, just building business best practices here, just as a quick example, and this is, every client is different, but let's take Mark and Mary. Maybe Mary's retired, Mark is still working. He wants to retire in 9 months, okay? And so maybe you even talk to him, he says, well, I'm gonna retire in 9 months, and then he says, I'm not gonna do anything right now. All of his money's in his 401k. So again, if you never sent another thing to Mark and then just called him in 9 months, maybe he forgot about you. Maybe somebody else contacted him a month before retirement. So he's going to go with them. He's forgotten all about you. But on the other hand, if you go and you send consistent messaging to people, you know, all of a sudden he's going to think of you, okay? Because he remembered you, you stayed in touch, you called him. These are those things that make those differences between converting people in your database and losing out on those sales, okay? So these can be very, very important steps in securing a future sale down the road when the timing is right, okay? And so the overall keys here, just to wrap things up, it's not a quick buck approach. This is a long-term perpetual nurturing strategy, part of your overall marketing mix. You want to mail somebody until they either buy from you, they pass away, or they call in and ask to be removed from your list. You want to combine this with all other forms of marketing for the best results, not just do this on its own. And remember, guys, it's the right list, the right message, and then the right time. And that's really what it's all about, is being there when people have those, you know, I use an example. My wife asked me this summer if we can get a pool at some point, right? Our kids are 4 and 3, and I was like, oh, I'd like to get a pool. So I emailed a couple people for some quotes, but I'm not ready to buy a pool right now. In fact, I'm thinking maybe a year or two from now. So I called somebody for a quote, and he sent me a quote. You know, no matter what he does, I'm not buying the pool right now. But in 2 years from now, if he stayed in touch with me, maybe I buy the pool from him, right? Because it's all about the right list, the right message, and then more importantly, the right time, okay? And so it works, and whether you believe in it or you don't, it does work. I'm trying to hopefully make you into a believer here, but that's the idea, finding a budget that works, putting that into action into your business, and then being able to go from there, okay? And so some next steps here, as John mentioned, our platform to use what I showed you for the CRM is free. We do have paid tiers. There's some additional features that you get from those, additional coaching and training, the ability to sync some of your emails into your account history automatically. But what's interesting about us is everything I just showed you, you can start using for free. And there's no trick or catch to it. You know, it's designed, of course, we want you to upsell into a higher paid member package. That's our long-term goal. But we also want you to get value out of the system and realize it's powerful and helpful for you. So go ahead and start using it. Now, here's kind of the thing, guys. To achieve better success, you've got to make a change. And sometimes it can be easy to just be complacent and do the things that we're used to doing. You've got to put one foot in front of the other and just start taking action. If you realize there's something here, you want to drive more sales, you're sitting on a gold mine of leads and prospects, you're not doing anything. And so that's really the idea. If you want to make more sales, less headaches, first step, all you got to do is go and create a free account. Just go to our website, visionfinancialmarketing.com. No credit card or anything. You can just go ahead and sign up. And what's going to happen is you're going to sign up and you're going to see all this stuff and you're going to feel overwhelmed. You're going to say, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do first, because CRMs can involve a lot of data. So step one is to sign up. But more importantly, guys, the real first step is booking a one-on-one strategy session with either myself. I've got my partner in crime over here, Katie. She's our president, runs operations and runs all of our client user management success. She's going to help you understand things that other advisors are doing to be successful, help you implement your marketing campaigns, give you a walkthrough of the system. But more importantly, it's all about just step one, using the system and getting your contacts into the system, and then we can help you set up your communication campaigns. Okay, and so that's the message here, guys. And John, that's my top focus here, is to hopefully encourage you to get in there and start using it and start some communication and marketing and emails and postcards. And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised if you do this consistently for 6 months of next year. You're going to see new clients, you're going to see new business. I can guarantee it.
Absolutely. You know, Gabriel, as you were sitting there talking, I'm thinking to a lot of the things that we've been teaching producers over the last several years about marketing. And the fact I can tell you, based upon all the producers we work with across the country, the producers that are using a CRM are more organized, they're more structured, and they do more business because they're able to know the important metrics of when their clients have opportunities or when they have events coming up in their life that they need to have things addressed to. They've already got those mapped out in the system. A CRM also gives them an opportunity to create some automation so that they have an opportunity to stay in front of their clients, what we call TOMA campaigns, top of mind awareness campaigns.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one other thing you touched on that I think is powerful that maybe the guys and gals listening missed is when you were talking in the CRM about the ability to group people by some of their likes and some of their hobbies and other things that they do. One of the most important things that we're teaching producers today is to understand who their ideal client is. And as they're looking to build a referral-based practice, being able to identify those psychometrics, those interesting things about an individual that makes them unique. Yeah, maybe they've got a certain income or they live in a certain type house, but most of the most successful producers that we work with have found that there's some unique characteristics. Maybe they're golfers, maybe they love wine, maybe it's they love to travel, whatever it is. As you're working your practice and you begin to use this tool that's available in the VFM system, you now can begin to identify, as Gabriel said, some unique marketing messages. Maybe it's a wine tasting event for your clients that enjoy wine. Maybe it's a golf event for your clients that enjoy golfing. Now they've got a chance to invite their friends, their neighbors, their coworkers that have similar demographic metrics, but also that same psychometric graphic. And now you've got a chance to connect with them and begin to do some amazing things in your practice. That's one of the unique secret marketing things a CRM system can do for you. It allows you to put your opportunities together. It lets you measure the value of each customer that you've got. It allows you to deliver outstanding service, and it lets you proactively stay ahead of client review processes so that you know when that annuity is at the end of its surrender penalty, or you know when there's an annual review coming up and maybe you need to revisit allocation strategies. Now, one of the things I like about the direct mail is the fact that, you know, we talk a lot about electronic mail today and electronic delivery, and everybody calls and they're telling me about their open rates and their click rates, Gabriel. One of the nice things about direct mail, it's 100% open rate because everybody's going to open their mailbox every day and they're going to take out the mail that's in it. So you got 100% open rate with direct mail. And because fewer people are using direct mail, when somebody gets a physical card in the mail, it chemically does something in the brain that endears them to you in a very unique way. And I think there's some unique power there. In one of the marketing programs that we've done over the years called Income Planning University, we developed a series of postcards that several of our producers used and saw great success with that. That was one of the things that attracted me to what you guys are doing. And I agree with you. You know, you drip on them until they buy, they die, or they fly away. And that's the whole idea behind marketing. It's getting in front of a qualified prospect, staying in front of them, because you never know when opportunity is going to strike. You never know when a life event is going to take place that they need to revisit their annuities, their life insurance, their long-term care, whatever it is you've sold them. This allows you to be able to pull up in an instant and have a quick snapshot of everything you've done with a client. Gabriel, I want to say thank you for your time, my friend. Anything you want to add as we get ready to wrap this up?
John, I don't think so. I think you hit it on the head. And, you know, as far as those life events when people are thinking of you, I've heard people say, well, I do emails. But again, you spoke about open rates. I know some advisors that have a 15% open rate on their emails. And that just means 85% of the people they're marketing to aren't seeing their message. And it's as effective as almost not receiving anything if nobody opens it. And so I echo your sentiments there. It's all about creating that sort of omni-channel way of communicating with people. And that's really that power is of consistency and staying in front of people. So when they need something, you're their guy.
Absolutely. You know, and guys and gals, as we wrap up, I'll remind you, we've got a video on our YouTube library, our video channel, where we talk about quitting too soon. And the fact that most of your prospects that you're looking to convert to clients aren't going to respond until they get a minimum of 5 to 8 unique touches from you. Yet the average financial professional only does 3 touches or less. CRM system can help you automate a lot of that, so you have an opportunity to continue to get those unique messages in front of that client and give you an opportunity to see more success. Hey, Gabriel, I want to say thank you again for having an opportunity to showcase what we're doing. Can you show us one more time where they need to go? Can you back up a couple slides and let them know where they need to go to access and set their account? There it is right there. Perfect. Vision
Yep,
Financial
just
Marketing.
head on over there. Yep.
.com. So guys and gals, if you're watching that, if you'll go ahead and go to that website, we don't make a dime off of this. This is something that we're just bringing to the table to say, here's an opportunity for you to add a unique element to your practice that maybe you don't have. Or the other complaint, and Gabriel touched on it earlier, you got a piece of junk that just don't work. Why not get something that is intuitive, that is designed by guys and gals that live in your world every day, and you got an opportunity to see some great success. So if you got questions, give us a call, but more importantly, get your account set up, get started, and put this unique and powerful tool to work for you. Gabriel, thank you so much for your time. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being with us. If you've got questions, you can give us a call here at Vision Advisors, 1-800-505-8489. That's 1-800-505-8489. Thanks for joining us, and have a great day.